listening to the All Things Geekery podcast. This is episode 14 of season 3, a Cyberpunked classical. I'm your host, Detached.
Hey guys, and I'm Victus.
We want to welcome everyone back to the show, and if it's your first time with us, we want to thank you for stopping in and joining us. We hope you guys enjoy this episode.
In this episode, we're first going to talk about the very recent re-release of WoW Classic and how it has reunited the Warcraft community. We will then discuss our thoughts about a resurgence of players that have returned back to a blocky game we've all loved and played. Next, we'll talk about the released information that hit about Destiny 2's new Battle Pass type system, which will be coming with Shadowkeep. And finally, we are going to talk about the most recent trailer for Star Wars Episode 9 and also the deep dive video for Cyberpunk 2077.
We've got a lot to talk about tonight. You know what?
Yeah, I know.
I'm just realizing how big of a topic we've got listed down.
Depends on how many rabbit holes we go down.
We always go down rabbit holes.
Well, I know.
Jeez. You know, as far as the games that are coming up, well, let's think. Technology, games, media, entertainment, just like those 4 categories right there. Over the next, what is it? It's September now. From September to December. So the next 3.5 months worth of stuff that is going to be launching and coming out is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many things.
So many new games that are coming out. And
Lord.
That is what that's what's kind of surprising about a couple of the games we're going to be talking about is that they're not new games. They're either re-release of a classic, WoW Classic, or just a game that's come back up to be sometimes number 1, number 2 on Twitch.
It kind of came out of Minecraft, of all things, came out of left field like, hey, we're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Let's talk about WoW Classic, because now we're talking about two different things. One, because you are playing it, I am not.
Yes.
I'm replaying it vicariously through your Twitch channel right now.
Yes. I originally wasn't going to play it. I was just going to be a viewer. But then after listening to a couple people that it was going to be kind of this once, you're never going to experience this again. You've now had a second chance, that we're talking right before release, to experience what WoW was on release. Or even with a slight change to it, because everybody knows what it is already and people know the areas, and it's not just brand new stuff.
Yeah.
But still, you get to experience what the game was, unblemished, unexpanded, just right off the bat, with one slight change to it, just to help with the massive influx of people.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Well, you look at the span that the game has been out from launch to now. We're talking 15 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
So the technology that existed back then just was not what we have today with the community building apps. The streaming community was not what it is at all. I mean, YouTube, how old is YouTube now?
Great question.
I don't remember when YouTube was formed, but 15 years ago, we didn't even have that big of a YouTube community. I think YouTube is only maybe 10 plus years old. So that, I think, mixed with the giant hype that this game once was, with all of the gaming communities mixed together, the fact that Blizzard, I think, is still, I don't know, to me, Blizzard is still one of the top gaming producers out there because they've dominated in that realm for so long. Mm-hmm. I think there's just a good vibe with the community. Yeah, I think there's going to be a up and down for any game company, but I think Blizzard's been around this long for a reason. They're good at what they do, and they've made some amazing games. One question I had for you, though, is how does your experience over the last couple of weeks since WoW Classic has relaunched compared to how you played when it was first launched?
Honestly, it was been so long since I hopped in. I hopped in at towards the middle of Burning Crusade. So there was already several patches, probably about a year's time, an expansion that had already happened to the game. But a lot of the DNA hadn't changed compared between vanilla, what I'm playing right now, and what I picked up in coming in Burning Crusade. Main thing was probably the new world that we were going to, and also now we had flight, which completely changed the dynamic of the game basically forever. But the grind is still as horrible as it was back then. But the grind is never, I should say, the grind was as long as it was back then. But with that said, it will only be bad if you are doing it by yourself and you're just sitting there grind. You can offset if you're doing it by yourself to like really dive into the individual stories that are being told, because there's like so much stuff to read about the quests you're going on, why you're going on them, and it connects you all throughout the world on your journey. But what really is what brings Classic together is when you have other people to play with. Is that experience, right? Figuring out, okay, I got this quest. I'm looking for, hey, can I get some help with this one? We've been trying at this boss for forever. A lot of it required that interaction to complete or to help out. Hey, you're in a guild now. You have designated tailors, you have designated chanters, etc., helping out the guild building bags or armor or whatever it may be, weapons. So that unification of the community is what really set apart WoW Classic and even in Burning Crusade. And then you could even say about Wrath of Lich King that not a whole lot of, that was still needed there. But once you got past that, the need to reach out to and support each other was no longer there. There was much more hand-holding about the leveling process, the instances, like when they finally implemented the looking for dungeon system, where you just hit a button and you queue up for a random dungeon. Although it was nice, absolutely much better than having to go out and find those individual dungeons to go into. It was the slow decline of this forced need to connect with people to be able to accomplish something, and accomplishing that is what made those memories.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say, is that always made the best part of an MMO for me is the relationships, the connecting, the friendships that you made online. The games were always fun. The stories were always amazing, but it was those connections that you made with people that made the game stand out and above anything else. And I think that is something that a lot of gaming communities are missing nowadays, because the games that we have, they don't have that same feel as an MMO. We've got some new age games that have tried to make this hybrid MMO, and it has a little bit of that feel, but not like the classic games were back in the day.
Yeah. Well, that and like you had brought up, this re-release is being augmented. The experiences are being augmented because just immediately bringing up streamer standpoint, they have communities behind them that are helping that person out. Watching Tim the Tapman when he was leveling up, he was like, I need some mats, and then there's 3 guys trying to trade with him. Here's mats, right? Or helping each other out because it's like instant communication. They know he needs something, or you already, being that there's a re-release, a lot of those veterans already know all the areas of how to quest. They already know all the quests, especially those that have gone back to private classic or vanilla servers and been playing on them for so long. So you have all that, and you have watching the entertainment from Twitch, Mixer, and Facebooks that are happening right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of really funny stories, bloopers, conversations happening all over the place. It's cool to see. It really is cool to see.
So all that's new aspect to World of Warcraft Classic, and I think that is just helping along the experience and removing that really long grind to hit 60. which is max level currently in Classic. It doesn't change until we get to the expansion for Burning Crusade. Which I think in 3.5 days of playtime, somebody hit level 60.
That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that's basically nonstop grind, 15 hours a day.
Yeah, he nonstop, and even he did 15 hours a day. He still said he got adequate sleep at night, but through a combo of people helping him and him utilizing the new layer system, because that's one thing because they knew this massive influx of people all coming to the first spawns. There's going to be so many people fighting over loots that they basically created layers of the game where you would spawn in layer 1, but you couldn't see and interact with people of layer 2. They would have their own designated mobs, even though technically you're in the same server and in the same area. They rolled this out to help with that. And I gotta say, it's a smart move. It is a smart move because it would have made starting in those worlds for weeks while people tried to get loots out of that area, because there would have been 1,000 people right there.
Yeah.
Some of that still happened, but not nearly on the scale that it could have been. So, but yeah, he hit 60, and the server threw a parade for him. Like, hundreds to thousands of different players came to. He was a gnome, so they came to Stormwind and greeted him back with parades and showed off. Congrats to him, and it just shows. Another thing that shows kind of the popularity, this kind of resurgence back into it, is there was 350,000 people watching him hit level 60.
Wow.
When he did it. And that is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. I mean, that is rivaling any of the live games total viewer count out there.
Yeah.
On Twitch.
Yeah, that's big.
Even during their biggest
cool.
events. And this is a guy hitting 60 on World of Warcraft Classic. when it launched, when it went live, there was 1.1 million live viewers for WoW Classic on Twitch.
Well, I think this says something a lot about the gaming community and just the group in general. If we've got this much interaction for a game that's 15 plus years old, and there's this much excitement for it, I think it just goes back to show gamers really want a community. They enjoy the friendships more than they enjoy the games. Yeah.
Well, that's also what happens is, like, you're on these servers, and so you'll connect with people across the servers. And so I remember when, you could build up a reputation for yourself, and you could be invited to raids or instances or battlegrounds, which was the PvP version, and people would recognize you even if they haven't played with you, because your name would be shared throughout the server. As it started to get into like cross-server stuff, that started to muddle that reputation building.
Yeah.
So, but also played to where you kept people accountable, because that one person would ninja loot and leave. Well, your name got shared quick across the server to where you were blacklisted.
Literally within seconds, your name was just completely dragged right through the mud.
Oh yeah.
Nobody would take you into a clan.
Nope. If they, because they would be blasted through trade chats, which is like server wide, blasted through the city. So
the world chat was just blow up.
So yeah, but to your point, it is that community.
Yep, they want that community.
And people are loving it. I'm loving it. I'm experiencing the grind. I've connected with other streamers out there, and we're kind of group leveling up at the moment. So yeah,
that's been fun on my end as well. Even though I'm not playing with you guys, I'm still, and that's something that we didn't have 10, 15 years ago when we first started playing WoW. We didn't get the community aspect, but on this end, just being a mod inside a Twitch channel, interacting with people in that form and fashion, and still having these communication chats and talks with the people who are playing is still fun. And it's become very interactive for the people that maybe aren't playing, but they're just watching and enjoying the entertainment level. because they've been able to sit there and ask questions and have direct feedback from the guys that are actually playing this game.
Yeah.
That's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And Blizzard listened to some feedback, especially with server capacity, and they took action. But they're going for the long haul.
82-hour load time.
Yeah, no. Some of those, what has become the streamer server, because a lot of streamers ended up going there, so they brought their communities with that created accounts. The streamer server, I think, is just constantly maxed out. And there was talks of like if you got in at prime time, your queue was like 5 hours.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah.
And and here's the funny thing, those guys are waiting the 5 hours, but they're also sometimes missing their bit and they go AFK and it reloops them back into the queue.
Yep, that's happened. Poor Dr. Lupo. That happened.
That happened recently, just like 2 or 3 days ago, I think.
Yeah, yep. He had queued up and he had the counter, he had it up on his stream, but he just didn't catch it that it put it into his character select, which means you're now in the server, and then it AFK'd him. So kicked him back out. So yeah. But they're playing the long haul, so there's going to be everybody kind of predicts it, and I think there's been rumors that it's going to be confirmed, is that it'll come, the level out of the hype of people that were only going to play it for a month or so.
Yeah.
And the steady players are going to have a free server transfer to kind of level out the servers. So attempt to, at least. But yeah. So yeah, WoW Classic. It is going strong right now. Right now on Twitch, it is just behind Fortnite by only like 10K viewers. But it's holding strong above everybody else right now. We'll see how it does from here on out. Maybe as they continually, because they're releasing patches in kind of the same time frame that they did vanilla WoW. So we're expecting our first patch, which is going to have the honor system, which is PvP, and our battlegrounds. So you can actually have the PvP section of the game come in, which I didn't release with vanilla, and it came later. So yeah.
I thought that was part of vanilla. I didn't realize that.
Yep. So we're waiting on that. But yeah.
Very, very cool.
So that is a 15-year-old game that is now number 2 on Twitch.
Yeah.
Then our blocky friend, for which we've all played, Minecraft.
Oh, Minecraft.
Wow. It has remained up near the top. I would say top 20, top 15 at most times.
For a long time.
Yeah, but none of those... probably you had some big names in there playing it that people all knew from the Minecraft community. But all of a sudden, there was your Fortnite players, your Destiny players, your name it, your variety players out there were all of a sudden playing Minecraft. Just out of the blue. Somebody said it's because PewDiePie started playing it again, or I've never actually looked at where it traced to where the start was, but Courage JD, Dr. Lupo, right now Professor Broman's playing.
Yeah.
I was playing for a little bit up until now Classic hit, and I had a little bit of Destiny to do to get done with this season before Shadowkeep. But it's like, what's brought everybody back? Like, what's happening? I mean, I know my reason, which was, for one, I never actually really played on PC and like integrated texture packs and shaders. I haven't even gone to mods yet on PC, because that's just you could build a completely separate game with mods.
Yeah, I haven't done any of the texture packs or mods. Most of my Minecraft time was all on console.
Yeah. Same here. Like I've spent hours on my console map.
Oh, yeah.
But going to PC, starting over, but adding that shader and texture, it's like a completely different game.
It looks beautiful too with what they've done.
Yeah, and now we have a kind of tech demo of what ray tracing looks in Minecraft, and I'm almost positive they say it is coming to Minecraft, but it needs to be here, because that was gorgeous. That is what a modern Minecraft would look like right there with that ray tracing. So much fun playing with it.
Yeah. Yeah, Minecraft is one of those games that I played a lot of, especially when the kids really started enjoying the game itself and just building. We had tons of fun just making things in the game. And that was always a fun aspect of it. But yeah, playing on PC is a different experience for sure. And now that those texture packs are in there, the kids, and I keep saying kids, I'm a gamer. It doesn't matter how old I get. My kids we like playing games together. It's just fun.
Yeah.
But they've seen these texture packs, and their eyes get really big, and they're like, "Wow, I wanna do that." And I think that's been the big hit for Minecraft as well. It has always been a fun game. They even did the whole Telltale Games style of the story-based version of Minecraft as well.
That's right.
And that was a lot of fun because you fell in love with these characters, and now you get to see the whole story unfold in a decision-based style game. So Minecraft is still one of my top favorites of all time.
Yeah, I mean, because if you start a new world, then that is going to be a completely different experience than the world you did before. If you have friends come in and join you, completely separate experience. If you are on PCs, so you can add texture and shaders, then completely separate experience. The amount of different options and different ways you can play is limitless.
Yeah,
you can play on creative, you can play on survival, you could, hey, let's do a challenge. I'm going to beat the game, which I think is technically killing the Ender Dragon without dying, as hardcore mode, right? Because they have that now where you die and you lose everything. You're just done.
You have to start at the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning. So some people have been picking that up. But yeah, just endless customization. And being from console, those got updated slower than PC. Coming over to PC, so much extra stuff was there. So that's what kept me playing. And like some of these that have gone over from Fortnite, same thing. They haven't played in forever, but they were heavy Minecraft players. Put a lot of hours and they're coming back to it. But it's just a chill game to play.
It is, and that's what I was getting ready to say. Is it's super chill, and if you're a hardcore gamer and you spend a lot of time in grindy games, which we do, we grind a lot of games and we put a lot of hours into making good content. This is one of those games that, and I've always heard it, and it's something that we always say as well, is you play a game to grind, and you stream it and you make content of it, and then you always have a game off the side that you can just play for fun. Minecraft was always one of those games for me. It was a good getaway game. Yeah,
and that's what a lot of people are saying. It's just a fun, chill getaway game for those that were grinding Fortnites, the Destinies. For me, it was finding that chill game from Destiny. Bringing in interaction just makes it that much better because you never know what's going to happen. And playing it on stream, it actually has become extremely enjoyable with it. But we'll see how long it lasts. It's still, right now, it's dropped down to about number 15, 16 on the Twitch list. It was, for a while there, it was up at number 1, number 2. Some people have gone to just playing Minecraft because they've actually done better on Minecraft. So like Courage JD, he has been almost non-stop playing Minecraft.
And his viewership has been way better.
Yeah, his viewership has been up. His follower count has gone up. So yeah, it's starting to click with several people there.
And I think, so if you look at brand loyalty, right? I think we have the same thing happening with Twitch, Mixer, Facebook Gaming, the streaming aspect of things. If you've got some brand loyalty, you've got some people who love watching the specific people. Sure. You've got people who they ingest content all of the time. They enjoy seeing games, learning things, listening to podcasts, listening to Make It videos, watching anything and everything that they can. They just enjoy that. And those are the people that are looking for variety streamers, right? And I think when you get somebody like Courage, who was very hardcore into a specific game, and now he's changed it up because his viewers, he's got some very dedicated viewers. that kind of brings a resurgence back to the channel because it's new, it's fresh again. And I think that's something that we forget as gamers is there's kind of this lull period where you can just get completely burnt out and you don't realize you've gotten burnt out. And I think we're seeing that now with a lot of the big streamers. We've got 3 or 4 big games that have come back in, just like we've talked about. And you've seen their channels kind of explode again. We're seeing big numbers come back across these platforms. And just like a gamer, the viewers want to see new things again as well.
Yeah. And they will. No matter, like, if the person starts a new world, it'll be a brand new experience. You're not, some people, replay a game and most of it is similar. They make different decisions in the game. No, this is going to be completely different unless the gamer tries their hardest to completely rebuild exactly how it was before, which is almost impossible because the worlds are just randomly generated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll always have a new experience. There will be a new mob. You'll die to something new next time, or however it may be. So
definitely fun to see these older games come back in, though. It's been cool to watch, cool to see the conversations and the funny little bloopers that are happening.
Oh, so many funny material happening on Minecraft right now.
Yeah, it's good stuff. We've got some new games. Well, not new games, new expansions coming out. Destiny 2 is one of the ones people have got their thumbs on. And Shadowkeep is right around the corner. And with that, Luke Smith and the
30 days.
Yeah, 30 days are right around the corner. Luke Smith and Bungie have been I shouldn't say pretty active. They've been very active communicating with the community on social media, videos output at Gamescom, everything. And they've been feeding a lot of information about what we're getting with Shadowkeep. And Destiny is getting a brand new battle pass, quote unquote, season pass system.
Now, see, this is where all the Fortnite haters grab their pitchforks and torches and come at Destiny saying, "Oh no, battle pass, bad!
Burn everything,
burn it."
And as soon as they said battle pass, you've got some people who love that system, some people who hate that system, and I think you've got the two sides. People who played Fortnite and saw the way the battle pass originally worked. Some people hated it, some people liked it. So there's a lot of mixed bag of understanding of how this is going to function, what it's going to look like. People are, screaming and yelling, pay to play, pay to win. All this stuff is going around the community right now. But I think Bungie has done a really good job of communicating. There's still some questions that are floating out about how this is going to work. And I think that'll just kind of flesh out over time. But one of the big things that Luke really brought out over the last couple of weeks is kind of how this system is going to be integrated and what we're actually getting. And the way the season pass is going to happen is each season is going to have a free version and a paid version that we can have. So this paid version is $10 each, which it's $10. I mean, go buy 2 Starbucks drinks. It's $10.
Yeah.
And I think that's no different than what Fortnite or even Dauntless. Let's take Dauntless for instance. It's a free game with paid options on the back end. Their battle pass system is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
It's a free game. It's fun. And if you want the content, then you can pay for it. If not, you can still go play the game and do what you want and still have fun.
That's actually the system I would most compare what Destiny's doing right now is how Dauntless has it going. Whereas you have 2 tiers, and it lays it out the exact same way. You have your free tier, which if you're just playing Destiny as part of that, then you can work your way through that tier. But if you actually purchase that season, you can then get the work on both the free tier and the paid tier, which is part of the season. So you buy the season, you get access to that tier.
Yeah.
Now, if you get like the yearly pass, which they release or are bundling with their game, basically. So if you can go and buy like the digital deluxe of Shadowkeep. You get Shadowkeep and access to all next 4 seasons or so. I think there's four passes in there. So you get access to all of them. and all that content. So it just depends on how you want to play it. It's not, people try to say it was a money grab, but it's really not when you break it down. It's just more content that you can, as part of the season, that wasn't going to be there previously up until they announced it right now. Nothing changed besides that.
It's not going to be a perfect system. It never will be. But I don't think this is a money grab at all. No. I think this is Bungie listening to the community, and they've gone back and done a really good job of relaunching since they pulled away from Activision to become their own company again and have control of their game and put out a good product. I think they're making some smart choices. They even pulled back the launch date of Shadowkeep because they wanted to make sure things were right. I think it's a smart play. And with things like the Battle Pass system, they're a company, they've still got to compete in the market. They've still got to be able to grab an audience. They've still got to be able to have some way to build their game. And I think a perfect instance of how some of the income comes through their system is the 0 hour mission that we had for Outbreak Prime.
Yep.
That was a perfect instance of how the Eververse system that we had for people buying into the specific materials you could get, everything from cosmetic sets to whatever you wanted. The income that they had off of that paid for all of the development work that happened for that 0 hour mission. And I think it's a smart way of doing things. And we're seeing this with the Battle Pass now as well. You can still play the game, but if you want this additional content, it's $10. Or like you said, you buy Shadowkeep, it comes with it. And I think that's smart. There's some enticement for people to go out and buy this thing. It's a good marketing ploy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And with the seasons happening, they're going to start treating the seasons as events that will only be happening in those seasons.
Yeah.
So if you move on to the next one, there could be event or strike like where, to experience it, you just had to be there. And then you just had to be there is actually a quote from Smith in his description of events of what they're wanting to see with it. We've already seen some stuff like this, like with SRL or in Destiny 1, but like recently with the Hallows Eve event that happened, you have basically a modified instance that you could only play while you were there during that holiday period of time. We could start seeing more inside seasons similar to that. And there's another reason why they're doing it is they don't want to constantly fill up our hard drive space with data where Destiny load times, especially those that are not on SSDs, like every single console out there, unless you've changed it, they're going to be horrid. They're going to reach a point of like Skyrim level load times,
which is awful. Oh my God, don't ever go to that direction. No.
Yeah. So they're trying to remedy that.
And I think what they are saying by this whole rotating activity thing is going to be smart. There just comes a time where certain activities and things in the game, they lose their luster and they've got to be retired. You look at any MMO, any good MMO out there has done the same thing.
Yeah. Yep. But they've done that, and they're even releasing even more stuff for the free players out there, which is it's going to be for both, but an artifact. You're apparently going to get an artifact every season that's going to be themed after that season of what you have to do to level that artifact up.
Yeah, so let's actually talk about the artifact and what we're going to be getting. Like the example that they have been giving over the last few weeks is the Gate Lord's Eye, and it's a customizable artifact that actually allows you to change the way your character plays because of the mods and different things that you can put onto your character. They're trying to allow your character to be more customizable and have more skills. And I think that's smart. Going into a large game like this, I mean, we're going into a lot of content brand new people that are coming in to Destiny are going to be overwhelmed with the amount of material that they're going to have to play through to get to where they're coming. And I think one of the cool parts is, and Luke even said this, when the new light comes out, which is October 1st.
Yeah, it's going to hit with Shadowkeep. Yep.
Yeah, so October 1st, they're going to have the new light. If you're brand new to Destiny and want to hop in, they're actually going to take all of the current players' guns, armor, anything, power level, and everything is getting moved to the power level of 750, which will be the start. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's going to allow people to have a good go at the game and be right in the mix of everything else that's going on. And I think things like this artifact are really going to bring a lot of customization. It's going to attract people because it's something that's new. It's fresh. They're going to be able to unlock new mods. They're going to be able to slot those things for their different weapons, their different armor. And the cool part is this artifact is going to change out, because they did say at the end of each season, those seasonal type mods and different things that we've added, those bonus power add-ons are going to reset. So our players, our tunes are going to continually have this rotational change from now on, and I kind of like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do too. With it, even though they're helping out the free players a lot, there's still going to be a lot of exclusives that are to the season itself to warrant you spending that money.
This list is huge, guys.
Yeah, I'm looking over it right now. I was like, I didn't even know half was on this list.
Okay, let's just walk through this list. So for season pass owners, which they get access to new seasonal activity, the Vex Offensive, which includes 4 legendary weapon drops, additional weekly and daily bounties, additional weekly challenges and powerful rewards, which Bungie even said they're going to be changing up how powerful rewards work, and the way it functions, which I think is needed. It's good. Right now, there's so many activities that just kind of hand out powerful rewards for candy. It doesn't really do a whole lot for the economy of the game right now. There's going to be a new weapon quest for an exotic bow called the Leviathan's Breath, exclusive to season pass owners. There's the new exotic hand cannon, the Ariana's Bow. That's going to be awarded on rank 35 of the free track, or it will be awarded on rank 1 of the premium track, which is cool. That's a really cool incentive. And then we've got 3 seasonal legendary armor sets, 1 for each class, so the Hunter, the Titan, and the Warlock. There's going to be a complete set given during the first 25 ranks of the free track. It's only 25 ranks. There's not a whole. It's basically going to be easy to get in a sense, or if you're on the premium side, you get all that right up front at rank 1. That's cool.
Yeah.
You've also got the Vex Offensive, which is a new seasonal activity that's coming. Then you are going to have new ways of getting armor. So these seasonal activities are probably going to have tier levels, kind of like what we saw in Menagerie. There's going to be, the entry level, or there's going to be heroic. I think with the new system, there is going to be like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And each one of those are going to award different styles of armor. Some, I think what I would like to see is what we've done in dungeons and other MMOs. If you go into a dungeon and you play the hard tier mode, you're getting the really good stuff. And I think that's the way the game should be set up.
Yeah.
Reward your players that are willing to learn the system, put in the time, play the hard stuff. And if you can't get that, great. There's other options. There's going to be premium track rewards as well. There's universal ornament armor sets coming, 1 for each class. I like that they're putting ornaments back into specific armor sets again. There's going to be an exotic weapon ornament for Ariana's Vow. There's going to be 2 legendary weapon ornaments, a new finisher, an exotic emote, and an exotic ship. I'm out of breath. That is a massive freaking list of stuff that is coming for Destiny 2's Shadowkeep. That's huge.
It's crazy. And even with all that, there still needs to be a lot of in-game content. That is going to be a challenge and really obtainable for only those that persevere, grind at it, learn how to accomplish it, and then get it. Because then it's, has something for those people to grind for. People will say, I don't have the time. I can't get it. This is bad.
Yeah.
And I get you wanting it, but there has to be, they can't then baby that down for those that can't make it. There's going to be end game content that not everybody's going to be able to reach to, but those that want to grind for it, want to strive for that really hard, exotic, if it's a ship, if it's a weapon, if it's a, ornament set for your armor or armor in general, then have that there, have that for the people to grind for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's probably the best moments in any game is when you've sat there and spent, however long learning it, however long trying it, and you finally complete it. And it's like, yes.
It's rewarding. There's a sense, like I got this accomplished. It's fun. I mean, take our raid that we had last night. We had a really good run. We learned a great mechanic, and it took us a long time to kind of figure that mechanic out. What did we get after we learned it? A raid loot chest.
Yeah.
And we got some good stuff.
Yep.
And I think that was the whole point of doing it is, not everybody is going to have a raid team. Not everybody's going to have specific things, but there's going to be anything and everything for a lot of different people that want to go play the game. And they're trying to make what's coming to these people from a loot standpoint even better.
Yeah. They still haven't revealed everything. And
no,
I don't yet. I almost don't want to see any more until October 1st because they've revealed a lot of Shadowkeep.
I would,
Maybe mainly around mechanics and how things are going to work, but they're still keeping the story under wraps.
I don't want to know anything more about the story at all.
Yeah. I mean, we already know some exotic weapons that are coming. I hope there's some hidden that we will have to find out right off the bat, or they have planned to release soon after that people can already strive for.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do, but those are always like community building events right there. Those exotic missions or hard quests like that.
Well, they've got a lot of stuff to tie in. I think Bungie has positioned themselves really good for the next few years of content that's coming out. And I really like what happened with the Season of the Undying preview that we got, because we got a Vex trailer of something we saw a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So that Vex trailer, that was really cool because people kept, previewing this and saying, hey, there's this leaked trailer. And then it just kind of got brushed off to the side, as in maybe somebody made this for old, content and they never did anything with it. But yet here it is a couple of years later for actual content that we're getting now. So I think Bungie knows a lot more about their game than they will ever be able to actually present to the community of where their story is going 2, 3, 4 years down the road. I mean, they have storyboarded this thing out a lot farther than they say they have.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely amazing. So, good job, Bungie. I'm really excited about our next topic. I am. Yeah. Not a lot of people are. There's a lot of hate coming around right now, but I'm super excited about this one. The Star Wars Episode 9's newest trailer that just released a few days back shows off some pretty interesting aspects of the Skywalker family. Yep. Because it started off showing the old history of the Skywalker line, which
it was basically an homage to the Skywalker line.
It was funny because when I first started watching this, I thought it was some like cheap made up splicing of other film. Like, what in the world?
Fan-made trailer.
Fan-made trailer. What am I watching right now? But then I started understanding what they were doing. They were showing that history lineage of the Skywalker line.
Yeah, I think it was about half. It had Luke's voiceover, which we heard from The Last Jedi. A lot of his voice dialogue was happening there.
Yeah.
And explaining that we've now left 1,000 generation of knowledge with you. You're the last, etc. And it's when he was talking to Rey. So, and it's showing from the very first time you see Luke in A New Hope, it walks through seeing all the Skywalker, all the steps to Anakin, to his fall, to rise as Darth Vader, the battle above Endor where Luke fights Darth Vader. It shows that. Yeah. And then it finally goes into new scenes we've kind of seen from different angles before, but some new ones. See Leia again. Really, really interested how they're going to send her off in Episode 9, because they're having to reuse, or maybe they did get some scenes in, records new ones, but they were able to reuse some not
released footage.
Yeah, not released footage from The Last Jedi.
I know they were
previous movies.
Yeah, I think they were able to get some recorded footage before she ended up getting sick and passing. Yeah, but it still stinks, man. It's one of the classics. Yeah, one of the classics. It stinks. No more Princess Leia after this.
No more Princess Leia. We still no idea. We know not Harrison Ford. Mark Hamill recorded scenes for Episode 9. We know he was there recording, and everybody can assume it's going to be a Force ghost to Rey of some point. That's what everybody's putting their money on right now. Yeah, at least from what I read, that's what I'm putting my money on.
Pretty sure it'll be definitely be a Force ghost. Maybe we'll get some flashbacks of some different things.
Maybe.
But
yeah,
I'm pretty sure we're going to get a Force ghost, and I think we're going to get more than just him as a Force ghost. I think we're going to see more. Yeah. Multiples. I bet we'll have some Anakin in there as well.
You think so? I mean, there's been like 0 of Hayden Christensen coming back. There's been people out there been able to keep an actor, especially if it's a small recording, under wraps.
There is. The only reason I say anything about Anakin is about 8 months to a year ago, there was some leaked footage of Hayden Christensen on set with a lightsaber.
Oh.
But that was, like I said, 8 months to a year ago. And he's definitely older. He's our age now. He's not the young kid that he was. He's
right.
Early 40s. And he retired from acting. He retired. He is actually a horse rancher up in like Canada or something now. Yeah, he's he's a family guy. He said he did not enjoy the aspects of acting, and he wanted to spend more time with his family, so he retired, did a few things here and there. But there was some leaked footage of some images of him in an all black outfit wielding a red lightsaber that came out. If that pans out, I don't know. That may have just been fan-made material. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think it would be cool to see that lineage and that, like we had talked in our previous episode series that we did for Star Wars. At the end of the last movie, we talked about that passing of the torch with these new people that had come in. And we were really seeing in that last scene, the little kid looking up in space and just seeing the future, right? And right. I think this is that whole closing of that chapter. I mean, this is it. This is the last movie we're going to get of the Skywalker story.
Yeah.
That's it.
This will be it. This will be a new handoff. And they've already confirmed the Star Wars story will continue after this.
Right. This is just the end of Skywalker.
Yeah, this is the end of the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
of what we've experienced so far. And honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to it because they've had such great success with, movies like bring on more movies like Rogue One, bring on more movies like, you could say what you want, and Solo was could be considered, I think it was a sort of flop, didn't quite make all of its money back.
Yeah, they counted it as a flop. I actually really enjoyed the
it
movie.
too.
Yeah, and I loved Rogue One.
Yeah. Yeah, and Rogue One just, take my money now type scenario.
Right.
Bring on more movies like that. We're seeing another kind of Rogue One type setting with the Mandalorian TV show that's coming.
Oh, that looks absolutely amazing too.
Looks
I
good.
really want to see that.
So so we know the direction they're going with the TV shows, but it'll be interesting to see what the next movie is going to be after Episode 9.
I think they've got a bright future with the series for sure.
Yeah.
I think for guys that are our age though and older, it's gonna be one of those feelings, watching any of the big epic movies and you finally finish that last one, you're like, crap.
What now?
What now? This is it. Dang.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely gonna be it. What about freaking Rey at the end of that trailer though?
Whoa,
that was a complete out of nowhere. Am I really seeing what I'm seeing right now? That really threw me for a loop. It did.
Yeah, so, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, because what we're about to talk about is very spoilerish of possibilities of the movie. So pause it right now, go watch it. All right, you've been warned.
You have been warned. Basically, Rey came out as a dark side user of the Force. So are we seeing a Darth version of Rey? Are we seeing a clone? Rey? Are we seeing Darth Rey? I mean, it's already been confirmed that Palpatine is back.
Yep.
We heard it in the very first trailer. He even came out on stage for one of the cons that was out and presented some information about the movie. He's already said, "Hey, I've done recordings for the film." So I don't know, how do you bring Palpatine back? Because the end of Return of the Jedi, he was thrown down the shaft of the Death Star.
Yep.
So
that's going to be one of those that they're going to keep under wraps, and it's going to be like this huge reveal of how he's still alive and how he's manipulating things.
I mean, there's a lot of different, theories out there. There's theories that he truly didn't die. He's been rebirthed into another person, and that person's Rey. Yeah, there's all kinds of things out there.
Yeah, that's actually one of the most prominent ones is Palpatine takes over Rey.
Yeah.
Possesses him, possesses her. Or another one out there is it's kind of a Force vision of Luke was on Dagobah, where he saw a Force vision of Darth Vader, fought him, and ended up being himself.
Right.
So maybe one of those. So you have clone, Force vision, and possessed Rey. I think because nobody wants it to happen, nobody's leaning into this is actually Rey dark side.
Yeah.
Rey gives in to the dark side. So that's the final and one that not a whole lot of people are holding on to because they don't want it to happen. Would be almost cliche, maybe. I don't know. Maybe some redemption story there. Who knows?
I tell you
but it was definitely a wild card. Like, wow.
It was a wild curd. It was a wild curd.
Wild curd.
Talking about cottage cheese now. I'll tell you the one storyline that I always wanted to happen. I always loved the Star Wars novel series that came out after the Return of the Jedi, and a lot of the movies had happened. And the storyline of Luke turning to the dark side and raising up into the Emperor's position for a short period, I always wanted to see that as a movie. That was one of my favorite novel series for the longest time. But we never got it, but we did get it in a novel series. So
we got I think that's now considered Legacy.
It is
But
legacy. Yes, it is
if
not.
something
It's not
similar
canon
happened,
anymore.
yeah, it'd be interesting because it could fall along the same line because in the story, Luke goes under tutelage of Palpatine,
Palpatine. Yeah.
because he's still very new to the Force and understanding it. Even though what happened on the Death Star, he was getting there to be. He was more of Jedi Knight level
Right.
of understanding the Force.
Yeah.
But
He was definitely not master level yet.
Yeah, Palpatine manipulates him. He's reborn and manipulates him because that's what Palpatine does best. He's a master manipulator, as we saw evidence of Episode 1, 2, and 3 and how he established the Empire. So very well could be happening with Rey. Very plausible and would be in line with the canon and actions of Palpatine to convince Rey to turn to the dark side.
Well, and that goes back to the canon that we know with Palpatine and his master and how all that fell out. So, which isn't considered canon anymore, like you said. That's all. But super excited for the movie. I'm anxious for it to get here. It's coming out December sometime. I cannot remember the specific date for it though.
Let me look.
It is coming out soon. This year is almost absolutely gone. It is already September. There's only 3 more months. There's only 3
December
more months.
20th is when that movie's heading.
September, or you mean December 20th?
December 20th. Yeah, right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas. That'll be a big push.
Yep.
It's cool.
So yeah, episode 9. That ending, or that last clip, and then it just cuts out. Has everybody reeling above anything else that happened in that trailer. People were speculating about that one spot. But another one that people have, so we've now jumped to moving back to games now, is our final topic, which is the deep dive video that was released for Cyberpunk 2077. I would probably consider Cyberpunk 2077 the most looked after, hyped game in these 2 years, like 2019 into 2020.
Yeah, absolutely.
And man, did they show off. First thing though is I don't know what was going on with the graphics, but it seemed like a downgrade had happened. Something
was
eagle-eyed, you'd notice it.
Yes. So from what we got at E3 was beautiful, and what we got in this was dirty. Dirty is the best word I can come up with. Yeah. It did not look polished at all.
Yeah, it didn't have like what we would expect if you would the crisp feeling and full ambience, lighting, etc. Detailed interactions that were happening, just the minor details here and there that you could tell a game was running on PC. And a lot of people weren't even focused on them; they're just focused on what else was in the trailer. But there's some that are called out, and some have chalked it up to like maybe they're trying to give real expectations of what you could experience on console. I don't know. We'll wait for the first one to, the next trailer to answer that question, or when it finally, we're going to get a couple more trailers till then. But that was an oddity about the trailer. That was the only oddity. The rest of it was just like, oh, yes. Oh,
the gameplay, the story, everything looks freaking fantastic.
Yep. They keep touting that your options of the game and your ability to play the game how you want is just going to be immense.
Yeah.
To how you execute the objective how you want to, whether you do capture the person, kill the person, or however it may be. So that's exciting. You can ally with different gangs of different cities, the world, what the playable areas and cities that you can go to looks to be just massive, and the stories that are there. They showed off 2 types of play styles, which are not necessarily classes, but
just play styles. Yeah.
Right. That you can pick up in the game, with one being a very tech-based hacker, stealthy person, to another being just you're going to go in brute force. You can rip machine guns from turrets and use
Leroy
them.
Jenkins style.
Yeah, no joking. You'd survive. They showed that playstyle, but within those, and one that has been just a an awesome thing to see is that your skill tree per se. You can't. I'm doing quotation marks in the air right now, even though you can't see me. Skill trees
it makes perfect sense. I mean, why would you not do it, right?
Yes. There, you just choose whichever skill you want to level up at the time. It's completely customizable to how you want to play the person.
Do you know what excites me the most about this game, outside of anything that we've seen from gameplay or the classes that you can pick out?
What's that?
Is it reminds me so much of Blade Runner.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that.
Blade Runner out of and we just ended up doing a whole movie topic around sci-fi and fantasy films, and Blade Runner was one of those that I wanted to add, but there were just so many good films, and Blade Runner reminds me a lot of what they're trying to do in the Cyberpunk game because of the story, how it feels, how it looks. So the world is going to be extremely immersive, and I love that.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic aspect to it. I should say there was one other questionable area, and the gunplay, at least just looking at it, looked
it looks
off.
Yeah, something's not quite right with it.
Yeah, it just looked off. It's not as solid as we have in games like Halo or some of those
Borderlands.
other, yeah, Destiny, where it feels solid. Each weapon feels like it needs to, and that could change once we actually get our hands on the game and how the guns interact. But from the trailer, it didn't seem that way.
Yeah.
But then again, they had at the top, this is not final build, does not represent final game type situation. So
they did put that in there for sure, and good on them. I think that helps answer a lot of questions. Like, you guys are, gonna chew us a new one if we don't, present what we showed you at E3, and they didn't. But I think they did a good job. Yep. So I'm very excited about this one. This is definitely going to be a pre-order for me.
Yeah, same here. And almost everybody I talk to is like pre-order. Yeah, I'm taking off like that week and playing Cyberpunk. Because, people have always, they enjoyed CD Projekt Red's last game of notoriety was, Witcher 3, which is still one of the most talked about. Everybody has good things to say about that game.
It's an amazing. I still haven't finished it. I started it. It's just, there's so much to do in the game. I mean, it's one of those where if you're going to play it, then you have to just not do anything else and just play that game.
Just play it. Yep. But that is also what's led to, it's just, up there of like the Mass Effect level of detail and stuff you can do in the game.
Oh, it's huge.
And build out and choices you can make affect it. So they're hoping, and it's looking like we're going to have the same type of interaction come Cyberpunk. But then, what really is important, what we need to find out, is more about Johnny Silverhand.
Yeah.
Mr. Keanu freaking Reeves as Johnny Silverhand, which is actually a come to find out, I thought he was going to be like a co-op character that you ran with you. No, he's an AI that's in your head that shows up, and it can only show up to you and interacts with you and talks to you. So,
I thought he was an NPC character in the game.
Yeah, he's an AI. He's like your Jarvis.
Okay.
Or very snarky Jarvis.
Just the fact that they got Keanu Reeves to play that is phenomenal, because look at all the things that Keanu Reeves has done in the sci-fi films. Everything. Take Johnny Mnemonic, for instance. Take The Matrix. I mean, he is a huge sci-fi fan, and now he's going to be in probably one of the biggest sci-fi games from this side of things. The way they do it, that's going to be really cool.
And honestly, I hope his acting in there is fantastic enough to warrant like awards to be given.
Oh,
he
absolutely.
Can pull it off.
He can. He gets a lot of flack for the acting that he does. Him, from his personality, the way he acts, speaks, his whole mannerisms that he has, by far is one of my top favorite actors.
Yeah, because he's basically, he acts like a John Wick. Or
he does.
He has some fun points, but really his mannerism is where it shines when he's allowed to be what looks to be like a Johnny Silverhand or a John Wick. Or you could say the John Wicks in those movies is just his persona of Keanu Reeves. You could compare it to how Johnny Depp is just his persona of
Captain Jack.
Sparrow. Yeah, Captain Jack Sparrow in all of them. They're crazy, wild thinking, acting persona. So what I've seen so far, I can't wait. I cannot wait to just have my first interaction with Johnny Silverhand.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. And that's coming out April 16th of 2020.
So far away.
It is, but man, this year's almost gone. We literally, it's 6 months. Just a little over 6 months.
Too long. But it's good it's out that far, but it's good it's out that far because there's massive games releasing in the back half of this.
Oh my goodness.
Back half of this year. Coming up in just this month.
Yeah, so many things. So that brings up a good point. That means guys expect a lot of new content coming from ATG.
Yes. From the combos of both of us, podcast-wise, Twitch-wise, on our Twitters. Yeah, it's going to be blowing up.
There's going to be a lot of stuff. And I think that is honestly kind of a good segue just to put a little bug in your guys' ear. Come January 2020, we've got a new launch planned for ATG. We've got some things that we're going to be working on. Yeah, don't shush. Yes, is it secret? It absolutely is. But we can't wait till January gets here. We've got some cool stuff planned. Victus and I have just really kind of been brainstorming and putting a vision together of what this thing's supposed to look like. And yeah, we want to continue growing this. So I think that's a great segue for closing this bad boy up and just thanking all of you guys for your support and just continually giving us a push. And we want to thank you guys because you're awesome.
Absolutely. And as I say in every episode, we're just a couple of nerds. We like talking about movies, games, tech, whatever it may be. And we greatly appreciate that you guys enjoy listening to us and giving us feedback, listening, commenting, just chatting with us, sending us ideas. Like I said, we appreciate it. But if you did enjoy this episode, you can be sure to subscribe to the show and drop us a review on iTunes, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcasting apps. You can also connect with us over on Twitter, Instagram. I stream over on Twitch at Victus Dark Arrow. You can also visit our website at allthingsgeekery.com, and those links will be in the show notes.
They will be in the show notes because I'm going to stick them in there. And if you guys have any topics that you want us to talk about, look at, maybe share at a future episode, then find us out on our Twitter, like Victus said, or you can email any of those ideas over to us at podcastatg@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. But guys, that wraps up this podcast. So as always, you guys stay awesome, and we will see you in the next episode.